As I mentioned in my previous video, during the next few months, I'll be helping you reconfigure the ideal capsule wardrobe, full with fewer, better things. In that video, I focus on the accessories. Today, though, I'll be focusing on those hard-working items that have a lot of personality and that I've seen on heavy rotation in my closet. I'm also going to show you how I go about building around them. These aren't necessarily classics, so they will certainly fuse your wardrobe with new life. So if this sounds interesting to you, then keep on watching. One can never have too many sweaters, but a Fair Isle one has got a bit more personality than a plain sweater and maintains the integrity of a full sweater when you feel bland and need to be punched in the face as a reminder that you're alive. For this look, I have to confess I went a bit extra with the layering and the belt. Honestly, in hindsight, I would drop the belt. But it's an idea because style risk takers, we live for the regrets. It's the fabric of how we learn to claim the most authentic octaves of our taste. And besides, I find that often people understyle their sweater or make it too casual or sporty. So my idea is to give you options. And here is a slightly more plain version with a brown leather belt that gives the pants a tuxedo vibe. Golden espadrilles finish off the look. Also known as balloon pants. They are the low-stakes novelty item your closet craves, and I will show you a few ways I like to style it. The pants could look wild with something as simple as a button-down denim shirt and sandals. I have altered the heck out of them to get them like this. They are perfect for showing off your killer heels too. And here's a winter version. Regular pants will give a look a defined dose of personality, but bubble hem pants take the articulation one step further, either enunciating the extent to which you are fun or cool or arty as hell. A tube top has proven to be a must in my closet these days. Now I'm going with the outfits you can wear to dinner or to dance or whatever you're doing to relieve yourself of the dreadful long weekdays because it's Friday. So here's what to wear to get flirty with friends. The basic premise of which doesn't require that you overextend yourself beyond the confines of what's reasonable. An all-black ensemble. Employing a tube top, you can imagine with a leather midi skirt, but does make the suggestion that you try something new, like two belts. I find the tube top to be super versatile. You can wear it as is, like I just did, but it also looks great under a blazer or over a shirt or even a plain sweater. You can do this with a tube top or a bonded bandeau or even a strapless bathing suit top if you have one. And it definitely works better if the jeans are relatively loose. Then add your most formal shoes, preferably if the collar can tie back to your tube top. Et voila! You have to have one. For this look, I thought of layers. The white turtleneck makes a good foundation, followed by the blue striped shirt, and finally the brown V-neck sweater. I love layers with contrasting colors to them. They add dimension, I guess. You could do this with a blazer, but the coat is a nice change. Down there, I chose embellished mules, while the weather still permits, but with socks. It's that touch of feminine I was craving. And here is another option for the same scenario. Brown silk trench, a mustard cut-out dress, and sandals for a bit of warmth. One formula I have consistently returned to this winter, a monochrome-based look of shell-layered turtleneck and pants, usually either in gray or navy or all black, with a rotating parade of different things over. The pants have, for the most part, been straight-leg ones. They're the most versatile shape for the moment, given how well they work with heels, sneakers, boots, or loafers. I wouldn't recommend something tapered for this particular uniform, but it works with a slightly wider or a straighter but skinnier fit too. Here is styled with layers of white turtleneck, black shirt, and finally a printed blouse that has a bourgeois feel to it, especially when paired with the riding boots. There are tons of ways to etch it out, and it rides on one garment's ability to have a conversation with the one it's tucked into or slung over. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think this is precisely what has drawn me to these pants. In this example, it's basically the first example recreated, but for a slightly more elevated environment. Something you could wear out to dinner or on a day to work when you have a meeting perhaps, where the satin lapel corduroy jacket seems to have a formal vibe. And then, because the items are so straightforward, the jewelry really gets to take peacock and can carry the look into a new vibe territory. And here is a more minimalist version, where I'm after a new paradox, interesting but uncomplicated. It's styled with a belt and a plain tank top and a sweater around the neck, almost like an accessory, and pointy-toe ankle boots to finish off. I want to start by encouraging you to return to the tried and trues of your you-ness, to analyze, evaluate, and to rediscover the humble shirt. So here are some takes on the same underscored by a uniform and a cherry on top by how to make it feel a little bit more special. The uniform template is relaxed fit straight leg pants and a button-down shirt. It's not rocket science by any stretch of style, but it's very easy. And the reason I think I keep coming back to it is because it's also very easy to make it look, or at least feel different every time I wear it, depending on how I style around it. Here in this office-friendly composition, the shirt and pant pairing is universal enough to fashion into a look that can be conservative if that's necessary. But on the same note, it reveals a laid-back ease, rendered in classic colors like black and tan and white, inviting the green leather belt into the fold as the three create a trifecta that is pleasing to the eye. I have the look styled with a pair of square-toe pumps that might make it work appropriate in an environment that is more formal than an office for creatives, but less formal than like a bank. A red shirt can make a neutral look a little bit more interesting and surprise even your own understanding of layering possibilities, especially when the tights are tied right back to it. If If you look hard enough, you almost always find traces of a trend that appears like it came out of nowhere. But no longer can you just assume that something fad has appeared out of nowhere. There's always a place of origin we can trace back to. The Capri pants are a case in point. It started on practical terms in the 50s and 60s to make mobility easier for women, quickly became a classic staple. And the basic point is that they're a great way to soup up basics. Come to think of it, because the weather still demands more layers than it will, you're probably going to wear a jacket regardless, unless you go for a sweater, which will mean you're a little more focused on accessories or shoes. My recommendation as far as jacket is to opt for something structured. If the jacket's a bit shorter in length, then in capris might serve the look better. I use the obvious, more flattering choice, but with the denim variations, structured shoes like Mary Jane's or slingback sandal, fisherman or otherwise, or even a car shoe now that I'm trying it. And finally, a more relaxed version. The unbeatable chicness of a plain turtleneck, worn on its own, it reeks of elegant maturity. Baked into a more elaborate look, it elevates the surroundings. With great jewelry, it becomes the perfect canvas, and the jewelry's the paint. A red one makes a great base layer that affords an otherwise muted outfit a pop of unexpected color that is functional too, because it's a warm layer and a warm turtleneck. I wear it mostly under button-down shirts or crew neck sweaters paired with trousers. The color pairings here are usually navy with oatmeal, black with ivory, or even often recently charcoal with brown. Onto alternative shirts, there are multiple ways to do this, in various fabrics. Poplin is the most obvious one, so if you're after a more unexpected look, I'd recommend a flannel plaid like here, either on your person or wrapped around your waist. But to return to the point where I started the video about how I'm using the time I spend on clothes differently, there's definitely an underlying psychic desire to reevaluate and transform my relationship to time. The turtleneck jewelry combo gives me a system that feels less structurally cobbled together or rushed. And each one of these items seem to have facilitated a more creative, fun way of conveying my current mood as I watch my style taking new turns. So that was all I had for you today. I hope I have inspired you to shop your closet and create new outfit ideas. Let me know how you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.